Alrighty guys, PA Farms wanted a drone overview video. This is my drone. It is a DJI Phantom 3 Advance. Had it about a year. Used it a fair amount. Crashed it, as some of you have known. But they do sell replacement parts for it, and I got it fixed back up and used it all fall again. I'll talk about each piece here individually and then tell about some of the features on it and whatnot. In the box came with the drone, obviously, the remote controller, cable to connect your phone to the remote controller because you use your phone as a screen to see what the camera is seeing, and then it came with the another cord to charge the battery. That's a spare battery. I bought an extra battery. The other battery goes right there. This is kind of the middle of the range drone for this series. They had a DJI Phantom, gosh, I can't even remember what they're called, Phantom 3. I don't even know if they make 3 series anymore, but that's what they got. This thing does more than enough for what I use it for. So it didn't come with it comes with the one battery, 2 sets of propellers, and then the necessary cords, and the remote controller is what it comes with. I bought the second battery, and this is a little tool set. If you own one, I'd recommend getting it. It was like $10 or not even that much on eBay. Comes with all sorts of little bits and everything for all the little screws they got on one of these, because they got some tiny screws in they got that are, Torx bits or Allen head, and they're just so tiny you just don't generally have that stuff laying around to work on them, but they're pretty easy to work on too. But anyway, that's basically what you get in the kit: the propellers, a battery, controller, cords, and then the drone. Some of these you'll see I got the blue stripes on it. I like the color blue. They have red and silver and gold, I think. So if you see them with different colors, it doesn't mean it's a different model. It's just they send you stickers with it to put on when you buy it. These motors, are opposite of each other. 2 of them turn clockwise, 2 of them turn counterclockwise, so that when you put the propellers on, some of them you gotta screw on one way, and the other 2 you gotta screw on the other way. Let's see what else. You can either move data off of your drone from you can hook the cord right here into the computer on the drone, and then use this cord, or no, I take that back. They send you this cord also. You can take this cord, plug it here, and plug it right into the computer and transfer data, or you can it's got a micro USB card right there you can pop out and just stick it in the computer with an adapter. That's usually what I do. I just stick the card in. It says I think it has a max of 26 minutes fly time. I think I've only ever had it up for about 23 or so. Max 26 is if there's not much wind, and it's not having to fight itself or fly into the wind. You'll get more back, or get a longer fly time. But generally, if it's up in the air for 15 to 16 minutes, I can get about any shot I'm wanting. And I think only once I've had the 2 batteries, where I've needed it, because generally I can get all the drone footage. I generally don't try to put too long of a drone video together, so that's why one battery would be sufficient, unless you're wanting to shoot 5 or 6 angles and have several minutes at each angle. That's pretty much that. Let's see. It has a the biggest thing, I don't know if you guys have seen in videos, it's basically following me as I'm working in the field or something, and then it has what they call a follow me mode. You put it in a coordinates that's, you pick a spot where you want it to film at, and then you hit it, and it just follows the relationship of the drone and the controller. And so wherever that controller's at, it stays, at approximately that far away, whether you're 100 feet away at, an altitude of 40 feet or something. It has to have a minimum altitude of 35 feet for it to be able to go into that function. Just because, keep it out of trees and stuff like that. But that's a really handy function. It also has one where it'll fly just circles around the controller. I'm going to try that this next year. You can just hit go and it'll just keep flying a circle around the controller at, whatever radius you set it at. It has another feature where you can fly a pattern. If you pick like 3 or 4 points, you can hit like for start points here, and then you can fly it over here and make that another point, and then you can fly it over here and make that another point, and then you can fly it over here and make that another point, and it'll just keep flying that pattern. If you want, I've not tried that one yet either. I didn't see too much of a use for what I'm doing with that, since I'm constantly moving through the field. Let's see what else. It's like the camera is really steady on it. It takes an excellent picture. It takes a better picture than my internet, or just about anybody's internet who's in the country is going to be able to watch. If you're in the city, or something, and it might, you probably got better internet and you'll be able to keep up. I think it's a 4K camera is what it is. And it's a better picture than you'd ever need. So I think they make ones with even better cameras yet, but I don't see the need for it, at least for where I'm at. And stuff I'm doing, there's no reason you need a better camera than what's on it. The camera is the most delicate part, and it is the most expensive part of the drone. But it is pretty durable. It is made out of aluminum, and it's crashed several times and still been alright. Not a whole lot to it. It's pretty simple. It's really easy to fly. I couldn't believe how easy to fly. You can let go of the controls for 10 minutes, and it'll probably hover within, a 5-foot radius of where you let go of the controls. It just sits there and hovers. I'll power the app up on my phone and see if it's going to let me do much without starting it up and whatnot. You download the DJI app. Okay, here we are. You select your drone. We got the Phantom 3 Advance. They got an editor and all this stuff, and I've never messed with that because I always edit on the computer. Let's skip it. Come on. Here we go. Right now it's telling you the drone's disconnected, but it'll give you a status, and that will all change. You're basically seeing what the camera would see if this was all hooked up. And you can go over here, and there's all sorts of different parameters you can set it at. Then you got settings, drone has general settings, you got controllers, or main control settings, and then there's the remote controller settings, there's the camera settings, battery settings, gimbal settings. That's what this camera moves on, as they call that, the gimbal. And you wouldn't believe, the drone will be flying at an angle like this, trying to fly into the wind sometimes, but the video is still level and just perfectly smooth. It does a really nice job of keeping it smooth. It has an automatic takeoff and automatic landing feature. I generally just land it and make it take off by it, me doing it. They recommend that you don't go over, I think it's like 1,500 meters or something like that. is what they have set in, where if it hits that distance, it just stops and it won't go any farther. And if you start to walk away from it, then it'll come back to you. You can take that setting off, and it will go farther than that. I've never tried it because I've never really needed to film that far away. Let's see what else. It has a maximum flight height. You can set. You can hit the return to home button, and it'll actually you hit that button, and which is this one right here. You just hit return to home, and it'll fly up to a certain altitude. I can't remember what it is, and then it comes back and it'll land in the same spot it took off. So when it takes off, it says like creating home point or something like that. And then this is a GPS map. This would be like if you're looking at Google Maps or something like that. We're right here, and then it will show you the terrain. Like, let's see where. Yeah, it's all turned around. I need to start the drone up. It's all turned around, but well, if I started up, then it would GPS my location, and then you can fly it like that. I suppose if you're flying in trees and you can't even really see where you're at, or you just want to know the general location of it out in the field. I never really had that trouble, but yeah. So that's about it. It does a lot more than that I have never messed with or even really know about. There's a ton of tutorial videos on YouTube about it, so that's pretty much it. I hope that answers some questions for you, PA Farms. So thanks for requesting the video, and thanks everyone for watching. If you got any questions, I'll try to answer them. Thanks for watching.